Hello YouTubers, Manny here from Manny's How To Workshop with a video on how you can regrow vegetables from the cuttings that you get after you use them. Like potatoes, celery, onions, um, other plants like peppers and stuff. You can take the seeds and regrow. Tomatoes, same thing. But with potatoes and onions especially, because if they start to sprout before you get a chance to use it, just let it go a little bit longer, and then you can just cut off the top and then replant it and regrow it. And in here I'm going to show you, so in this bucket, and that's using 5-gallon buckets, and all you need to do is drill some holes on the bottom for drainage. This way it doesn't stay wet all the time, and then you don't get root rot. And you don't have to drill on the sides. The bottom should be enough to drain. If you drill on the sides, the roots potentially could start poking out. You want them to actually go down, like with potatoes, which these are right here. These are potato plants. And right in the middle I have a celery stalk also that's coming up. So with potatoes, the roots become tubers, and the tubers become the potatoes. So with a 5-gallon bucket, you're giving it a lot of distance for the tubers to go down and eventually form into those potatoes. And so this is the process. Like I said, 5-gallon bucket, drill holes on the bottom, plenty of them. 1/2-inch holes is what I used. And at the very bottom, fill it with grass that you already cut, which is already brown. That way the dirt and stuff doesn't plug the holes. The grass at the bottom helps to drain it a lot better. So these here, and then so the layering is grass. You can come up with some kind of like mulch, and then you can start coming up with dirt, and then you can put some compost, and then dirt, and so like layer it like a lasagna, a garden lasagna, and do it that way, and then only leave about 1.5 to 2-inch gap at the top. So later, if you need to, you can come back with the same cut grass, because spring's approaching here quick in Florida. So that once I'm at the first cut, I'm going to save that grass, let it dry out, and come back and use that as mulch. Put it up here so that when you water, that mulch helps to retain the moisture. Especially in hot weather, it's going to, you water your plants, water's going to evaporate quick. Also, you got to make sure, either water in the early morning or late in the evening, so that you reduce the evaporation time. But anyway, so these plants here are about going on maybe a week and a half, if that, these guys. And you can see that my organic compost that I put in there, I mean, these things are just like feeding like crazy. I mean, I would hope that they would slow down a little bit. And then once these probably get older, I'm probably going to have to trim off some of the top to force the roots to go, to develop more roots rather than the above ground plants. All right. So this is the end result right here. Well, end result is actually when I pick, potatoes, but that'll be another video when these come due, probably hopefully about 3 months. But this is how you get it started. All right. Set this down. All right, so I just made this one a few days ago, and same thing, 5-gallon bucket, drilled the bottom, and took my potato and onion cuttings, and as you can see, there's some right there, there's some right there, some right here, and then there's one right here, there's one right here, and then there's one right there. So I planted that many for better chances of it growing. And I have my onion plant right in the middle, well, close to the middle. And this one here, you can see that I planted an onion head, which you can see the stalk is pretty high. And now I actually had to trim these because these are like scallions. You can use them for cooking. So now this bud right here is going to flower. And So that's gonna flower, and then it's gonna seed. And once it seeds, then I can pick the seeds, save them, and then I can replant them once I make my my garden raised bed over there. But anyway, so this one is probably about a week and a half to 2 weeks old. And like I said, the stalks were really tall, so I just decided to cut them, as you can see on the tips, turning a little yellow and white right there. And like I said, I'm just going to keep coming out here and cutting these. When they get too long, just put them on a salad, you know, scrambled eggs, omelet. But yep. Now these may not bulb. It may not develop a onion bulb, but I will get seeds from it. So the next planting, I can probably get some bulbs out of it. Same thing, I transplanted this from a little pot into a big pot like this. But yeah, so there you go. Oh, and then in the beginning, I put a screen mesh like this one with a rock on top, just so the stupid squirrels don't go in there to bury the nuts and then disturb everything. These are already big enough that they won't mess around with that, so even if they go and dig and stuff in there, I could just come back and recover it. Yeah, they're little pesky bastards around here, but to protect everything, I use this kind of mesh screen here on that. And these should be sprouting. Well, they already sprouted, but they'll start to grow within the next week or so. So there you go. How you can replant potato, celery, onion heads that you get from vegetables that you're gonna use, but they start to sprout. And you can also do this with sweet potato. With sweet potato, it depends on the variety. If you get the kind that likes to run, that's more for like a garden floor or a raised bed. But if you get the ones that are single head, and then all they do is they throw roots and tubers down straight, then you can use the same method. But this is only 5 gallon. I've seen other people do it with 15 and 20 gallon containers, which is a lot better because you give them more space. They can get grow bigger. But this is my little experiment. Hopefully it'll something good will come out of it, and I'll be able to harvest some potatoes here in 3 months. And yeah, way to save money, right? You already bought stuff there. Don't let it go to waste. And just like, for example, my little pineapple plants. I eat the pineapples, I take the crown, and then I root them first, and then I transplant them. See, like in this little pot, when they get big enough, and I'll transplant it to a bigger pot, and then, the ones that I go straight to the ground, I keep those in the ground. But anyway, guys, so this video is coming to an end. But as always, thanks for watching. Please rate and comment, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so, and don't forget to hit the bell notification button to get notifications of when I upload new videos. Thank you, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.